Hello and welcome to Hornbill TV's News Pulse. I'm Akivito. Women and children are undoubtedly categorized as the weaker sections of society, which makes them vulnerable to all forms of abuse. In this regard, Saki One Stop Center, an inception of the Government of India, has been actively rescuing and rehabilitating victims of various kinds of abuse. Our reporter Esther visited the OSC in Dimapur. Let's have a look at the report.
Saki One Stop Center, or OSC, is a centrally sponsored scheme under the Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India, which is funded through Nirbhaya Fund. In Nagaland, the State Resource Center for Women under the Department of Social Welfare is responsible to facilitate the implementation of the One Stop Center in the state and provides technical support to the district task force set up under the chairpersonship of the Deputy Commissioner. Saki One Stop Center Dimapur was established in the year 2016. It is the first OSC set up in Nagaland. The center has been actively engaged in assisting women and children in distress through legal assistance, police assistance, medical assistance, psychosocial support, and emergency shelter for up to 5 days. The center in Dimapur received a total of 72 cases in the last annual year, which is 2020 to 2021. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the One Stop Center in Dimapur assisted several women in need of care and protection. The team generated awareness about its services through online platforms. IECs in the form of posters were put up in quarantine centers and various localities. The center remained accessible for clients during the COVID crisis. The adverse situation of the pandemic caused lack of employment, economic scarcity, displacement, and others, further causing chaos, psychological problems, stress, and negative coping mechanisms such as alcohol abuse and others. These issues made women even more vulnerable to various forms of abuse. The maximum kind of cases received is women being abandoned by their families due to mental illness or old age. Saki One Stop Center endeavors to create a safe and progressive society for women. So we are here at Saki One Stop Center in Dimapur, and we have here Veri Meru, who is the center administrator. Saki One Stop Center is a scheme under the Department of Social Welfare, and they relate to helping women and rehabilitate women who have been affected by violence and violence against women mostly, and also children, and regardless of caste, religion, or any race. So how often is violence committed against women, and how many cases do you have, on an average?
Okay, there are one-stop centers in all the districts of India. Even in Nagaland, there are one-stop centers in all the districts except the few new districts. And One-Stop Center Dimapur was the first one-stop center that was launched in Nagaland in the year 2016. Overall, since 2016, since inception till today, we have 323 cases. And the number of cases, it varies. Sometimes in a month we have about 4 to 5 cases. In average, we can say about 4 to 5 cases in a month, and sometimes we have even more, and sometimes a little lesser than. Sometimes we don't get cases also. Yeah. So like among the other districts in Nagaland, Dimapur receives the highest number of cases.
So what are these violence that are committed against these women? Do they come searching for you, or have they been reported and then you go and rescue them, or how does it work like?
Yes, our services are emergency, also non-emergency. Emergency in the sense we go and rescue the client, the lady, if she's in need of rescuing. And also like we have other services which are like I haven't mentioned, but they are medical assistance, police assistance, legal assistance, or emergency shelter up to 5 days. So if the client is in need of this kind of services, we also provide this kind of services to victims of violence. One case that we usually receive here is of mentally challenged women who are just in the streets, and sometimes tahana family they bring in such a mental state where they are able to listen to them, and then even the family is not capable of controlling them, or like so they just end up in the streets. And then when they come to our center, we are also not in such a state where we cannot tie them and keep here.
So what happens to the mentally challenged children or women or person who come here? And of course, it's very challenging for Saki One Stop Center as well as the families to take care of such mentally challenged persons. So what happens in the end? What happens to them? Where do they go?
Okay, we had one such case where this lady, she is mentally challenged, and then she was brought to One Stop Center by women police. So we kept her here for a few days. We posted her picture in the social media, and then we were trying to contact her community, also the community leaders, but we were not able to trace her family for a long time. So she ended up staying here for about a month, and after that, we were some of her like local guardians. She was like, she's not local, she's not Naga, so we were able to contact a family who were where she was living as a domestic help, and then after a month or so, we sent her back to them. So and then they were also not in a state to look after her, but since they have been keeping her since she was very young, so they accepted the responsibility. And
So Nagaland is such a place that when a crime is committed against women or abuse or violence, it is so taboo for women to come out and say that they have been abused or of domestic violence or any of that sort. So how can we as the public or a state also get out of this mentality?
the present society is not like a decade back. Now the world has become such a place full of knowledge and full of information, and most people are like literate now. We are all aware of everything that's going around the world, and all kinds of information, even the rights and responsibilities. Everything is accessible, and we are all immersed in all kinds of knowledge about what is right and what is wrong. So as responsible citizens, as educated people, I think we should also change our mindset and stop living like our forefathers.
What are the main causes of human trafficking, according to your knowledge and what you've seen, throughout with Saki One Stop Center, whatever has come your way to this One Stop Center? What are the main reasons of this human trafficking? Is it luring them with prospects of jobs, or mostly, or what is the main reason?
Okay, yeah, since there are less job opportunities in Nagaland, I think most youths are like tempted when they hear of a lucrative job outside of Nagaland, and that's how I think most people get trapped in the process. And also, I wanted to share one case of human trafficking. This girl, she's not local, she's not Naga, but she was living with a Naga family in Dimapur. So when she was about 14 years old, she met this guy who is not from Nagaland, and they fell in love. So this guy, she took her to Bihar on the pretext of marrying her. And so after when they went to Bihar, this man sold her to a brothel for 5,000 rupees, and she was there in that brothel for about 10 years, where she did all kinds of menial jobs, along with forced prostitution. And so she was living in that condition for about 10 years. And I think in the year 2021, 2021, an NGO along with the police, they raided the local red light area, and that's how she was rescued. And after she was rescued, she was taken to government shelter home, where she was living there for a period of about 1 year. And during that, she got education, and that's how she was, since she was already educated up to 9th standard, she prepared for her 10th standard there. And then when she came back to Nagaland, she appeared her exams, and she even got through. And yeah, that's one case of human trafficking.
In your opinion, Nagaland rehabilitation home, old age home, psychiatrists, counseling homes, should there be more of these in Nagaland, or do we have enough which is not being utilized properly, or do we need more professionals in these fields?
Okay, counseling, psychiatric help or mental health though is a very new topic for us Nagas, and many of us we think that mental health is not important, or like it is not even a part of health, like well-being, wellness bin hoy na. Many people are not familiar with the context, and but it's a reality. Mental health, mental well-being is equally important for like a person's well-being. And yeah, I think it's very much any professional counseling centers can be kumti ase, or hardly there are any, so it can be thakile bal a person is in need of tai depression ase, depressed ase, or he's in some kind of trouble, then I think there's no shame in seeking help.
For any emergency assistance, one can call the Women Helpline at 181 or 9485 239 094 for Dimapur district.